everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I played this Wild Jade Shaman on the ladder in Wild mode, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It was something different to play compared to my Secrets Paladin, which is what I usually play on Wild. So I thought I'd play a few more games with it, see how things go, and I've done a bit of a breakdown of the deck, analysing the cards, looking at how this deck works. So we're going to go into that. Hopefully, for those of you that are fans of Wild mode, you'll find this breakdown and analysis useful, hopefully. My win rate with the deck, 68%. Yes, I know I've only played a small number of games there, but it's a small sample, yes, but I'm a casual player. I don't have time to play hundreds or thousands of games in a week, so we're going to go with this small sample. 68% is reasonable. Of course, it was over 80%, and then I had one bad evening. Yeah, and as you can see there, I lost to some shamans, I lost to a couple of priests. The shamans were aggro shamans, and they just drew their 4-mana 7/7s early. I didn't have an answer, and I just got out aggroed, I guess, and just dominated. Priests were dragon priests, which is sort of mid-range, but they had an early stream of dragons that I couldn't deal with, and those priests just became very aggressive. Couldn't clear the board in time, just lost because of that. That was one bad evening. But then we went back to our winning ways, and yeah, and we've proven that we can beat priests. Yeah, we can beat shamans. As you can see, we do have a good number of wins there after that bad evening. So yes, one bad evening can absolutely wreck your win rate, but it happens. It's Hearthstone, right? It's all about RNG as well as skill, and sometimes you just have a bad night when it comes to RNG. Let's look at the early game in this particular deck. Mistress and Mixture is really good against the Buccaneer, and really good against just early pirates, I guess. It's also brilliant in the mid to late game because against aggressive decks that you face, and yes, on Wild Mode ladder now, Pirate Warrior, Aggro Shaman with pirates, they're making their way into Wild Mode from Standard, and this Mistress and Mixtures, even in the late game, when she dies, you get that 4 health. That extra 4 health can mean the difference between life and death, between surviving for one more turn or not surviving for one more turn. So she is actually a really good card, and that healing, as I say, is just absolutely essential. It's just an extra boost to help you keep going. Acidic Swampoos for weapon destruction. As I say, with more Pirate Warriors, with more Aggro Shamans, in the Wild Mode meta, this card is very, very good, very useful. I have seen Doomhammer make a comeback, for example, recently with a couple of my opponents, and that's been quite scary. Okay, Jade Claws. Now, this is a card, again, that's super useful in the early game because it can help kill a Buccaneer. See, I keep going back to that card, the Buccaneer, because pirates are everywhere. It's so good at removing some of those early game threats, but at the same time, Jade Claws gives you a golem, and usually if it's the first Jade card you play, it will be a 1/1 golem, but it's the start of something bigger. It's the start of your Jade Golem army growing. Okay, so it's an investment in your golem army. Right, let's look at removal and AoE. So Lightning Bolt, Maelstrom Portal, empowered by Blood Mage Thalnos and Azurdrake in this deck. Lightning Bolt, very clean removal of early threats like Tunnel Trogs, for instance, or Buccaneers. Maelstrom Portal with spell power, really good against totems that shamans play because you do 2 damage rather than 1. Jade Lightning, good for those mid-game threats that get played against you, and giving you some golems too because we're growing that golem army. Hex, really good against those big threats like 4-mana 7/7s. As I said earlier, sometimes it's just so important to have Hex in hand. If they play a 4-mana 7/7, if you don't have Hex, you can just lose the game. If that 7 attack hits face a couple of times, you're probably dead, right? And that's what happened to me against Aggro Shaman. I didn't have Hex in hand, I just lost. Lightning Storm, with spell power, or without, is a reasonable board clear a lot of the time. Really good, again, against pirates. If you can draw Lightning Storm, you can hopefully remove those Buccaneers synergies and those trogs and Bloodsail Raiders and all of those other silly cards that get played by aggro decks. So really good against aggro. And Harrison Jones, more weapon destruction in this deck. Really good against Renolock. You know, if they play Jiraxis and you draw a whole load of cards, quite often it will be game over for the Warlock, because if you've seen major removal like Twisting Nether, then you start playing your big threats that you've just drawn into your hand, you know, your big Death Rattle minions, and then it's hopefully game over. So Harrison Jones there, along complementing Acidic Swampoos. Right, so now we have Bran Bronzebeard, one of my favourite cards in this deck. Because of the Battlecry minions, there are plenty of Battlecry minions and tools in the deck. Jade Spirit, Aya, Jade Chieftain, with Bran and Jade Claws, you know, you get an extra summon, an extra golem summon with Bran, and that's just board presence, right? But one of the combos in this deck that is underestimated quite often is Bran and the Water Speaker to heal for 12, which aggro decks can often just not cope with when they see that happen. Healing for 12 can just spell disaster for them, because the Water Speaker has 6 health and 3 attack. It will kill a lot of the mid-game threats and you know that the aggro decks play, or it'll trade favourably with them, I should say, or help a trade. So 3 attacks, 6 health, generally quite good, right? Okay, the Death Rattle synergy. Mistress of Mixtures coming back to life from N'Zoth can actually be a real blessing. If you're at a point in the game where you can afford to play N'Zoth and not die, if you're at that point and you haven't been killed yet by an aggro deck, then bringing her back to life, well, it's extra health, right? Because you play N'Zoth, you bring her back to life, you trade her in, and you get some health. Hey, pretty good. Sludge Belcher is one of the best cards in the game, bar none. One of the best taunts, if not the best taunt in the game, because it's double layered. It stops aggro in their tracks, hopefully, and it's pretty good. So bringing Belcher back to life from N'Zoth is insane. Aya is just value with her Battle Cry and Death Rattle Golem summons. It helps to bring, it helps to build your Jade army, right? So if you can get her back from N'Zoth against mid-range and control decks, it's pretty decent. Thalnos, card draw, spell damage, yeah, not the best. It's not always the best resummon from N'Zoth, but it's card draw, I guess, right? If you get that back, and if you have a spell in hand, you get the spell damage again. White Eyes, though, probably my favourite card, along with Kazakus, from the expansion, Gadget Sound expansion, because White Eyes, I mean, he doesn't look threatening. He's a 5-cost 5/5, but you get the Storm Guardian, a 5-cost 10/10 shuffled into your deck, and against control decks, or even mid-range decks, this can be the difference between winning and losing, because sometimes they just say to themselves, how on earth do we deal with a 5-cost 10/10? And if you're getting White Eyes resummoned, there's going to be 2 Storm Guardians played potentially in that game, and as I say, that can just spell the end of the game for your opponent if they can't deal with it. If you are lucky enough to be able to play a 5-cost 10/10 against an aggressive deck, well, it could really be game over, because they'll just have to trade everything into it. So, pretty good. So yes, that was a bit of an analysis of the cards and their value and what they mean and how they sort of come together. And what we're going to do now is we're going to look at a few games with this deck in action, a few more games I should say, because I've already published one video on this deck. So we're going to look at a few more games and we're going to see how it fares on the Wild Mode ladder. Right, so we're starting out here against a Warlock, rank 11, and of course it's probably going to be Renolock, right? What other kind of a Warlock is it likely to be?
Side effects? No. Trust me.
Against a Renolock, I'm not really sure what a Mistress of Mixtures actually does in that early game. I don't think it's great, because of course he taps, and taps, and taps, and then she dies and heals him, right? So I guess it benefits him. You see, yeah, look. So I played the Swampoos knowing that he's probably got Jiraxis, but I needed pressure on the board. So I played the Swampoos, and, well, we just AoE'd, and look, he's back to full health, and I'm sad. Maybe I should have held the Mistress back. Maybe. And maybe I should have held the Swampoos back. I don't know. Okay, but we have options. We can Hex, or we can play a 4-drop here. I like the 4-drop because it starts the golems growing, and it puts stuff on the board, and 7 health isn't that threatening for me. I can make trades later in the game and kill that off. If he played a giant as an 8/8, well, that's a Hex target. But 7 health Twilight Drake wasn't. Maybe if it was a 9 health Twilight Drake, maybe it would have been a better Hex target. Right, so there's White Eyes. Harrison is now in hand, so actually, I guess Harrison is better against Jiraxis because you draw cards. And that card draw can be very important to just finding answers to win the game against Jiraxis. Because Jiraxis has 15 health, so if you can put enough stuff on the board in the hopes of just going face and killing him, that's pretty good. So yeah, maybe wasting the ooze wasn't such a bad thing after all. Okay, we are prioritizing here on killing the Emperor. And thank God we have the healing totem, because now, I mean, it means a mortal coil, for example, cannot kill White Eyes. Okay, yeah, he has AoE. But he killed his own minion too. He killed his own minion. And we've seen Hellfire now. The only other AoEs we're scared of are Twisting Nether and Shadow Flame, potentially. Okay. Didn't even need to think about that play there. Just playing Aya, snap play, its presence on the board, and we've got a 3/3 golem. So Aya will die, giving me a 4/4. Yes, our golem army is on the rise. Okay, Mountain Giant is a potential Hex target. Okay, plays the ooze. I can double trade if I want to save my Hex. But no, we may as well use it, right? Just keep the pressure going. Just keep the pressure going on him. Okay, healing for 6, pretty good. 10 attack on board. You see, what you want is you want to bring out Twisting Nether before N'Zoth, right? Because once Twisting Nether is played, that's his best AoE, his best board clear, and it's gone, right? And then you can safely play N'Zoth and be happy. Okay. Not committing the other weapon here. There's no need. Not yet. Wow, that's really good for him. That's just a board full of minions. And I don't have any AoE in hand. Wow. Good for him. So my response is to make a golem, a 5/5. The question is, how do we break the taunts? There's no easy way of getting through the 8/8. Have to use my face, unfortunately. But I keep healing. We've gained 12 health so far in this game. Now, if we'd not gained that health, are we putting ourselves at risk of combo? I mean, he's had the Emperor, hasn't he, right? So am I just dead to combo anyway? I think I am, right? If he had Leroy, PO, Faceless, plus the damage on board, I think I'd just be dead anyway. But... Mind Control Tech. So good for him there. If she steals the healing totem, which is good, means he can make trades and his minions get healed. So it's looking really bad for us right now. The Azure Drake here gives us an answer. Lightning Storm. Wow. Wow, and all of a sudden, we're now back with a fighting chance. We had the Drake and the Storm. I mean, that was very lucky. If we didn't draw the Lightning Storm there, it probably would have been lights out for us. And there's a problem. That's a Ragnaros. Who goes face? Sure. Okay. So, I guess we just play brown here. Not the ideal setup, but we just need bodies on board. And that Ragnaros is really dangerous. Faceless Shambler. Wow. Okay. When I play my Renolock, that is a combo that I love playing. Faceless Shambler onto my Ragnaros. It's so effective. Essentially, that's 2 Hex targets sitting there on the board. Right. Bran and Nazoth. Okay, we get double Aya. Now that's interesting. I think I'd have preferred double White Eyes, but double Aya gives us some golems. Okay. Shadow Flame would be very bad for me here, if he's got it. We have healing there with the Mistress, which could end up being super critical. So things are back to being bad for us, and yeah, there's the Shadow Flame. Get the Storm Guardian though. Okay, he's trading and tapping last as you do. Oh my god, it goes face again. Oh dear. This is a problem. I mean, I've played my trump card, and Zoth was my trump card. So, it's looking bad for us now, but, okay, so I guess we have to double trade. We can kill Rag. We have to kill the 8-1. Leave the 1-1 on board? Yeah. Another Rag shot to the face could be very bad for us, so... Had to prioritise there, killing Rag. But now I have an 8-8 on board, and he needs an answer. Okay, so card draw is reasonable.
I've got the beast in myself.
Wow. It's 2017 and someone has just played Big Game Hunter. Someone has just played Big Game Hunter in this meta. Wow. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. Maelstrom Portal. Okay, we're building a board here. We're at 9 health. We're building a board. Harrison Jones is sitting in hand, but he's at 30. Huh. Wow. Just wow. All the answers. All the solutions. 9 cards left in my deck. If he plays Jaraxxus and I Harrison, I will probably go to fatigue very quickly, but I may have no choice.
You face Jaraxxus, Eldar Lord of the Burning Legion.
You face Jaraxxus. There he is, as predicted. Wow, he's tanking. Okay. I'm going face. We're at 2 health. 2 health. And we have to do it. He has 2 cards left, though. We are going to fatigue, ladies and gentlemen. More than likely. But look, double Storm Guardian in hand. This is probably where we can make that all-important comeback. What do we do? I guess we have to taunt. Do we? Yeah, we do. I mean, Leroy, right? Leroy's a problem. He's lost his weapon, yes, but if he has Leroy, we can't open ourselves up to lethal through a charging minion. Ha! Double. 10 oh. Wow. Oh, wow. Right, but we have to kill him very quickly. Double Storm Guardian there. Being destroyed. Of all the minions it could have brought out, it brought out that other Storm Guardian. That's just terrible RNG. But, look at this. We have a 9/9 on board. The Golem army continues. And now he needs... This is wild mode, so Dark Bomb, if he's running it, that would kill me. That's direct damage to the face. Soulfire, if he's running it. But this taunt, if he hasn't got a spell, if he hasn't got a direct spell, and he's healing me, yeah, if he hasn't got a direct spell, we win this game, I think. He's just healed me, so we're not going to die to fatigue. He's now taking... How much fatigue damage is he taking? So, 14 on board. It's over. But we'll win it in there. We'll win it with style, right? Yeah, we had direct damage in our hand. He didn't. Oh, and there's our bonus streak. Very nice. What an epic game against the Renolock. Okay. Moving on now against a priest. So the Hex is in hand. That's pretty good for Twilight Guardian, I guess. But no early game. No Mistress. No... Nothing we can do early. I mean, Mistress and Mixtures conceivably is quite bad against Priest because of the Northshire Cleric, so they can bump it in and heal. So we're going to be committed, I think, to a totem strategy in the early game, just playing totems.
Is someone injured?
There's the Cleric, unfortunately, and now I've got to make a consideration. Is that a Hex target? It's a 5 health Cleric. He's just going to draw cards off of it, and that's bad news. So, do we just Hex it, or do we just totem up here? We go with the Hex. I feel bad doing that, because there are going to be big dragons that will need Hexes. But we've sort of stopped his card draw there for a bit. I mean, if we'd left that up, who knows how many more cards he would have got from that. I mean, we'd have to conceivably wait till turn 6 to Jade Lightning and Maelstrom Portal. That would have been 5 damage, so that would have killed it. But turn 6 is a long way away. Belcher is good for next turn. It's a shame we can't play it this turn. Therefore, do I just totem up here? Do I use the Lightning? Jade Lightning? I think I do. Now, you're probably going to criticise me for this and say, what a waste of a play. Well, I've just removed a minion from the board. I feel slightly better knowing that I've done that. Yeah. Because next turn, I can curve into Belcher. So we're sort of playing on curve there. Okay, mistakes were made. That is that right there. That 8/4 is a Jade Lightning target. So I've sort of I'm being punished now, right? But it's okay because look, I'm starting to build aboard. Holy Nova is the ultimate punish here, but if he goes, then he'll go face, but then I can still remove that. I'd probably have to face tank it again. I mean, that'd be what, 16 damage? I have AoE in hand. This is all quite tricky.
Must consider.
Okay, no Holy Nova. That's useful information for me there. Useful information. So, 5 mana. We could just Belcher here. And I think to play around AoE, we attack him. So now my Sludge Belcher hopefully eats up his 8/4, puts it to 1. He can heal it up, but then maybe we roll high on the Lightning Storm. Oh wow, okay. Okay, similar result. It's as if he'd traded and healed, because it's at 3, but he's got a 3/6 on board as well. That's a bit of a problem. Okay. So, do we roll? We roll for spell power here. And there, yeah, we get it. We're good at this game, aren't we? Okay. We just face tank it and we re-equip. So we've got another one in hand here. So, and we're happy to take the damage. So, in the end, me using that Jade Lightning on a 1/3 didn't punish me too badly because our AoE was able to mop up his board regardless. That card is annoying. Secret Agent. It's one of those awkward cards where if you have a White Eyes in your deck, for example, and then they get a chance to steal a copy of it, it's so annoying. So very annoying.
Once upon a time.
Okay, so we could probably clear this board. We have double portal with spell power here. I mean, that's pretty good, right? We'd have to do more face tanking. Okay, that's useless. Absolutely useless. I mean, it draws me a card on AoE, but it's still useless. That's better. Ready for action, he's better. I mean, he does something. He can attack, he's a taunt. He's reasonable. There are better one-cost minions, but I'll take him. Coining? Oh dear. He has seen double Maelstrom Portal, and he plays Elixir, of course. Of course he does. I'm punished again for using double portal. Punished again for my choice of spells or usage of spells. Okay. She is a priority. Elixir had to be killed. Water Speaker, though, so very good here with our healing. It is the best healing card in the game, in my opinion. 6 health, for a 3/6 body. That's pretty good. And here, the overload is sort of inconsequential. It doesn't really matter. Overload for 1, you know, at 10 mana. Who cares? Okay, Holy Nova draws us a card, though. That's a card. That's going to get us a big golem out. And all of a sudden, his board doesn't look entirely threatening. It's 4 1/1s. Okay. Shadow Web Pain on an injured minion is reasonable. And now he's left with 2 1/1s. I really don't feel threatened at this point in time. Okay, it's going to be time for some value. Does it matter which one we do? We just play Aya because she's a 5/3? I think we do. So we don't get to play a hero power here, but it's okay. I is a 5-3. And 6-6 and a 5-5 on board. Yeah, I'd say we've got board control. There are 3 targets on that board for Shadow Word Death, and he can't remove all of them. Oh, that's pretty smart. But what are you going to do about the 5-5? He's flooding here. He knows that he's got to flood in order to be able to survive. I have no sense of lethal, but he's left my Bran on board. So I can get insane value here from my 4-drop. I think Bran... Is Bran the priority here? So we're going to get insane value from the 4-drop and double card draw from the Drake. I mean, that's the ultimate in Bran value in this situation, right? So 2 more golems come out. Look at that. We're up to a 9-9 golem. How does he deal with that? This is going to be difficult for him. But of course, it's wild mode, therefore light bomb is a thing. If this was standard mode, we wouldn't have to worry about light bomb. But we're going all in here. Well, we're not going all in. We've still got plenty of fuel in our hand. But we've committed a lot to the board. He's just proven to me there he doesn't have the light bomb. He stole a Belcher from me. Okay. He's going to draw a card, but look at my board, it's so threatening. I just need to decide on the best way to do my trades. Bran Bronzebeard got us so much value. So much value. And now it's all just very elementary here. We just mop up to the best of our ability. Use the 7-3. We're trying to play around Excavated Evil to the best of our ability. But look at this. Light Bomb is the only thing that really saves him here. And he needs it. If he hasn't got it, yeah, it's over. So there we go. Beating a Dragon Priest convincingly. And streaking into rank 10. There we go. So, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all again very soon.